Well, welcome back to KSAN News. We have some cold weather in the forecast tonight with clearing conditions, allowing that radiational cooling to actually take effect. As we look at the weather headlines for this evening, they are as follow. Cold weather tonight, and it will wrap into the 60s, being cool tomorrow, more spring-like. We will rebound back into the 70s and then the 80s. And then I'll give you a look on some possible rain chances going forward into next week. And today, we got up into the 60s today, around 64 degrees, right 1 degree off from where we're supposed to be. Overnight, this morning, we were at 44 degrees. Terminally, we're supposed to be at the 30s, and that's actually where we're supposed to be right now, and that's where we are now. 35 degrees in San Angelo, 34 in Sterling City, and also Ozona, 28 in Fort McCabe, 25 in Menard, 27 in Eden. They're already in the 20s, so you can expect them to actually get down even cooler. That cold front is why we're getting some cold air moving in behind it as that high pressure starts to set into our region, making our winds pretty much weakening. But that cold front extends all the way across the East Coast, bringing some showers and storms into the Carolinas, Georgia, and into portions of Washington, D.C., and even New York. Some active weather there. What we'll be watching is a high starts to build. That's going to lead to our warming trend. But notice this deeper trough out here to the west. That's going to be our next cold front that comes through next weekend, bringing us some chances for rain. Finally, and we need it, teen wind speeds expected as you go into Sunday. Then we'll start to carry that trend with winds gusting as we get closer to our next cold front passage. We'll see more southerly flow, some warm air coming into the region, and that's going to help temperatures climb into the 70s and 80s going into Wednesday, tapering back down Thursday. Before Friday, they'll pick back up and get a little more gusty ahead of our next stronger front. But tonight, we're expected to get somewhere around here. But notice what I showed you earlier, Menard is already at 25 degrees, so they may drop down into the low 20s tonight, and some low-lying areas, if they get a little more cooling, may even drop down into possibly the teens. It's expected tomorrow, warming back up into the mid to upper 60s tomorrow. Another cool day for this time of year after being so well above average, and we'll be trending that way going into Monday, getting into the 70s, Tuesday, getting near 80, and then possibly touching 80 or higher by Wednesday, holding and watching all to that cloud cover come in. Then our next front system starts to work in Friday, bringing in some rain chances Friday, Saturday. Saturday's more like a rainy day for overall for us here, and some well-needed rain here across the Concho Valley as well. But if you're going out traveling tomorrow, definitely going to be traveling to these destinations, seeing some 50s and 60s. Overall, some nice weather. And tonight is a great night to put the actual fireplace in effect. Just remember these rules and regulations when you go out. Make sure you don't have your tree that far, and make sure you don't overdo your Christmas tree lights. Make sure they have separate sockets. Tomorrow we're warm right back into the 60s, just like we were today, a little warmer, near 69 degrees for some spots before we start to cool off. We'll get down into the 20s and rise back up into the 60s with southerly winds into the next 5 days, keeping that warming trend and continuing it before we see some rain chances move back into the forecast by next weekend, bringing us some relief here to the Concho Valley. We'll be back with more KSAN News.